Matrix. The Matrix Revisited. The Matrix Done Again. The Matrix Run It Back. The Matrix Resurrection. Well, really more of a funeral, if you ask me. Had Keanu Reeves, had Carrie Ann, had the whole shebang, you know, had the two of the main guys from the original. As a surprise, they also had Jada Pinkett Smith. She came back, reprised her role. But there was just so much that was retouched, rehashed, and there was so much that just seemed wrong. A lot of it seemed wrong. To be honest, and I say no disrespect to the people who made it, but anytime anybody says no disrespect, it's because they are about to be disrespectful. No disrespect, but it looked almost fan-made. I've seen stuff on YouTube that was as good or better fan-made. And this was not, I mean, it was an interesting story. I like the way that they made Neo believe that everything he had seen before wasn't a dream this time, but it was a dream, but it came from a video game he created. So they made him think that maybe he was living in a video game, and he's a video game, creator. So that was kind of cool. And the way that when the characters looked in the mirror, they looked different from the way they looked to Neo and to themselves. So it was giving you a little bit of that duality. The Matrix makes you look like this, but you actually look like that. I don't know why they would change that. They would just make you look, why not just look like yourself? If I was in the Matrix right now and I looked like this, and then later I broke the glass and I found out that I actually was, 6 inches taller or, chubby or Latino or something, I'd still be like I'm still in the Matrix. That's what I would think. Who knows? Maybe other people think differently. The fight scenes were not what I would consider Matrix-level fight scenes. They were throwing punches and kicks, and they were hitting each other, and people were falling down and getting back up and jumping over stuff, all superhero style, but the special effects were off, I think. There was a certain level of sci-fi action that happened after the Matrix, after they pushed what could be seen on film, the 360-degree kick and all that kind of stuff. The Matrix, when the bullets are coming, the Matrix fall or whatever they call it. That was cool. It was innovative, I think I need to be 15 years younger to say innovative these days, but it was innovative. It just, in this one, it was like they were saying, hey, remember this? We're not going to actually do it the same. We're going to do the bullet dodge, but we're going to make it look all wonky. I don't think those guys wanted to be there. If you ask me, they had a meeting in the movie where they were saying they were forced to do another Matrix. I think that might have been reality. I think these guys may have been forced to do it. I don't know these people personally, but looking at it, I'm thinking, I don't think they really want to be there. It doesn't really look like they're trying that hard. I don't know. It did. I wasn't a fan of this one. The first one is on my top movies list. This one, maybe not so much. I did like the fact that Neo and Trinity find each other again, that their love binds each other. But, and it was kind of interesting that she had been looking for him all the time, but maybe she was the one, and he just opened up that power within her, which was the exact same power that he displayed previously. And then by the end of the movie, he had the power too, so they were both the one. So does that make them The two? I don't know. It was evident that they're still in the Matrix. So that kind of sucks. They never, no matter how much power they get, they never get out of that thing. They're always stuck in that thing. They always make room for another movie. And that makes sense. Layers upon layers upon layers. You can just make another movie. We broke out to another layer. I don't know. Neil Patrick Harris was interesting. He was good because he was Neil Patrick Harrison it up. I just didn't like the fact that he was supposed to be the end-all, be-all, the know-all, the main protagonist of the entire thing. You know, he's Thanos. He's Sauron. He's the final boss. And he didn't do a great deal. I mean, if I was the end-all, be-all, you know, if I was Thanos, I'd have snapped my fingers like away from the humans and, you know, save my arm, you know, and save getting stabbed in the chest. I don't know. If I was Sauron, I would have found those guys. He had a big eye. I'd have found them and sent the troops right there, 1,000 troops, and beat the brakes off everybody and then just took my ring back. If I was the final boss in a video game, I wouldn't be staying in a castle on a moat in an island behind a final door, behind a bunch of criminals. If I'm the final boss and I'm the baddest guy in a video game, I'm going to come and get you and end you. I'm going to wreck you. Why would I wait for that? Wait for you to get magic rings and stuff. And that's what this was. He was the final boss, Neil Patrick Harris. But he let them get so many things that they could use against him. He just sat there and watched them. I'm not a fan. But if you're a fan, I'd love to talk about it in the comments. But I would give this Matrix Resurrection 5 bags of popcorn. 5 bags of popcorn. Wasn't a fan. But were you? That's what's more important. Let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport.